What the fuck? I screamed. The party went silent, aside from the music, which someone quickly shut off. Justin and Lisa sat up in my bed. Justin looked even more drunk and high than before, but immediately jumped up when he saw me and yanked his pants up. Nina, it's not what it looks like, he said, stumbling toward me, while Lisa simply stood up with a smirk and pulled her panties on, smoothing down her skirt. She strutted out of the room and bumped me with her shoulder, on the way out as I continued to stare at Justin in shock and disbelief. Justin stammered as he tried to explain himself. I'm so sorry, Justin. I interrupted, my voice shaking. We are done. Without another word, I turned away and stormed out of the suite with Jessica and Lori calling after me. I walked out of the dorms into the cool spring air, turning this way and that for a bit before deciding to make my way toward town. I walked for a while, fuming the entire time and muttering to myself, until I finally made it to a local bar. I nodded gratefully as the bartender poured me a glass of rum and coke, and I sipped it miserably while he disappeared into the kitchen. Yeah, I hate my phone too, a male voice said from beside me. I looked over to see a guy pulling up a bar stool a couple seats down. He was wearing a red flannel shirt, and had curly brown hair, and a sharp jawline. He was muscular too. I hate everything right now, I said, swirling my drink around in my glass with my straw. How come? The boy looked at me, and just then, I came to a shocking realization. This was Enzo, Justin's hockey captain, the star of the school, every girl's dream boy. And he was sitting next to me, in this quiet dive bar, talking to me. Enzo must have noticed the expression on my face when I finally recognized him, because he smirked and held out a napkin for me. Your makeup is smudged. I blushed and grabbed the napkin from his hand, using it to wipe away my makeup while Enzo continued to stare at me. Rough night, he said once I finished cleaning up my makeup. I guess you could say that, I replied. You know, he said, his deep brown eyes studying my face, you look better without makeup. Do you treat all the girls like this? I said suddenly. Enzo simply smirked again and finished the last of his drink. He reached forward and brushed a bit of hair out of my face. If you're so intrigued by how I treat girls, why don't you come see it for yourself? I live in dorm B, 4th floor, room 409. I frowned then and pulled away. No way, I said, crossing my arms. I know your reputation. You're a player. So what if I am? Enzo murmured. It's your decision, but my room is open to you, all night. You can just walk right in. No need to knock. With that, Enzo sat back up, and tossed some money down on the bar. I'll pay for the latest drink, he said to the bartender, then threw his jacket over his shoulder, and sauntered out of the bar. I showed up at Enzo's place, a little while later. Before I entered, I hesitated for a little while as I considered just keeping my dignity and going home. But I was all dressed up tonight with expensive lingerie, and besides with Justin and Lisa's double betrayal. What would be a better way to get back at them, both? Taking a deep breath, I turned the knob and entered Enzo's dorm. He was sitting on the couch when I entered, as though he had been waiting for me. Changed your mind, he said, standing and crossing the room toward me. He was much taller than me, and muscular to boot. This close, I could smell his cologne. It made my panties wet, almost like a pheromone. So, he said, what changed your mind? I thought my reputation scared you. I just could use a little comfort, I said. Without saying anything, he leaned down and cupped my chin with his hand. He kissed me deeply, his tongue exploring my mouth in a way that Justin's never had. After we kissed, he wrapped his arms around my waist, and picked me up. I wrapped my legs around him, as he carried me to the bedroom. When it was over, Enzo and I laid in bed for a minute before he got up, and put on his underwear. I sat up, feeling both heavenly and ashamed of myself, and pulled my panties on. There was something different about Enzo now that we had had sex. His body language seemed more wild and dominant, and when he looked at me, his pupils were dilated. His eyes almost seemed like a different color. He smiled at me then, and his teeth were sharp and glistening. My heart started to race as I felt like he was a wolf, and I was his prey. Swallowing, I stood and put the rest of my clothes on. See you around. Before Enzo could reply, I rushed out of the bedroom and left the dorm. The next morning, I went to the dining hall with Jessica and Lori. To make matters worse, Enzo approached us and stood in front of us. Hi, Enzo, Jessica said. Are you excited for the homecoming game today? I kept my gaze fixed on the ground, letting my bangs fall into my face, but I could feel Enzo's stern gaze on me. Yeah, he replied. Although, it's not as exciting, when we always know we're gonna crush the other team. I hope they put up a good fight. Enzo had his arms folded across his muscular chest as he looked at me. He looked almost disapproving. Was he upset that I walked out on him last night? Later that night, at the party by the fire pit, I overheard Lisa and Justin arguing. Listen, I think I made it pretty fucking clear that I was just having fun. Lisa said. I broke up with my girlfriend for you. You said we would get together. Justin replied. Lisa scoffed. I never said that. Besides, you knew what you were getting into. Why would I make things exclusive with you when I could pick any guy I wanted? Ugh, you're pathetic. The door swung open. Lisa looked down at me, from the top of the steps with a smirk. If you're gonna eavesdrop, at least don't make it so fucking obvious, she said, then flipped her hair over her shoulder, and jogged down the steps. As I stood there, trying to decide what to do, Enzo appeared behind me. I tried to step around him to go back to the fire, but Enzo blocked my path and folded his arms. "Why are you avoiding me?" he said, sounding a little hurt. I stopped and bit my lip. "I'm not avoiding you," I said. "It sure seems like it," he replied. "You left so abruptly last night. What do you want me to say?" I whispered. "You had your one-night stand with me. You never see girls more than once. You should be thanking me, because I'm just making it easy for you." "Is that what you really think of me?" Enzo asked. "Everyone knows you're a playboy who only sleeps with girls once before moving on to the next," I said, stepping around him. He didn't block me this time, but turned and frowned. "Well, you're different," he replied. Enzo stepped closer to me and brushed a bit of hair out of my eyes, finally lowering his voice to a whisper. "I want to have a second time with you."